You're listening to Speak English with Chat.
On Chat English. Welcome back to Chat English, where we learn the words for real life, not just the textbook. Have you ever lied about how you're feeling simply because you didn't have the English words to explain the mess inside? Picture this. It's Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. You are standing in the office kitchen, holding your coffee. You are absolutely exhausted. Your colleague walks in and asks, "Hey, how are you?" You force a bright, fake smile and say, "I'm fine, and you?" But inside, you feel like screaming.
Oh, I know that scream intimately. I remember my first year at that marketing agency in London. I was completely drowning in paperwork, maybe sleeping 4 hours a night. My manager asked me how I was doing during a review, and I just froze. I didn't want to look weak, so I said, "Great, everything is great." I walked away feeling like a total fraud.
That is exactly the trap we are talking about today. We are deleting "I'm fine" from your vocabulary. Instead, I am going to give you 3 levels of honest replies you can use with your boss, your friends, and even yourself to build real connections.
I love this idea of levels, because obviously you cannot tell your boss the same thing you tell your best friend after a couple of drinks.
Exactly. We need to grade our honesty. We have level 1 for professional settings, level 2 for those casual gray areas, and level 3 for deep, real vulnerability. But before we get to the phrases, Dan, why do we do this? Why is "I'm fine" such a reflex for language learners?
I think part of it is just safety. I'm fine is chapter 1 in every textbook. It's the first thing you learn. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. It's automatic. If you try to say something else, you have to think about grammar, you have to think about vocabulary, and in that split second of panic, it is just safer to say the easy thing.
That is so true. It is the path of least resistance. But the problem is that "I'm fine" is a conversation killer. It shuts the door. If I ask you how you are and you say "fine," there is nowhere for me to go. The interaction is over.
It's like putting up a do not disturb sign on your forehead.
Perfectly put. And it also robs you of support. If you are struggling but you tell everyone you are fine, nobody knows to help you. So let's start with the hardest situation first. Level 1, the workplace.
This is the tricky one. You were tired, maybe you were frustrated with a project, but you need to sound professional. You can't just say, "I hate this and I want to go home."
Please do not say that to your boss.
I have thought it many times, but I have never said it.
So how do we express burnout without sounding unprofessional? The first phrase I want to teach you is incredibly visual. It is, "I'm running on fumes."
Running on fumes. That is such a good one. For anyone who isn't sure, what are the fumes here?
Think about a car. When you run out of gas or petrol, there is nothing left in the tank. You are just running on the vapors, the fumes remaining in the engine. It implies that you are keeping going. You are still moving forward, but your energy tank is empty.
I like that because it actually sounds hardworking. It doesn't say I am lazy or I am giving up. It says I am working so hard that I have used up all my fuel.
Exactly. It frames your exhaustion as a result of your dedication. So if your boss asks, "How is the project going?" you can say, "Honestly, I'm running on fumes, but we are getting there."
It buys you a little bit of empathy. It signals, hey, maybe don't give me another huge task right this second.
Let's practice that one right now. I want you to listen, and then I will pause so you can say it out loud. Imagine your manager just asked how your week is going. You are tired but determined. Ready? Honestly, I'm running on fumes. Honestly, I'm running on fumes. Nice. And notice Alice used the word honestly at the start. That is a great softener. It signals that you are about to drop the professional mask just a little bit. Yes, honestly, or to be honest, creates a little intimate moment. Here is another one for level 1. This one is for when you are busy, but not necessarily out of energy. You just have too many things to do. You can say, "I'm a bit stretched thin at the moment."
Stretched thin, like butter over too much bread?
Exactly like that quote. Imagine you are a piece of elastic. If you pull it too far, it gets very thin and tight. That is the feeling. You are covering too many areas.
This is a great way to say no to new work without actually saying no. If I say, "I'd love to help, but I'm a bit stretched thin right now," it sounds very reasonable.
It is a professional boundary. It sounds much better than "I am too busy." Too busy can sound rude or disorganized. Stretched thin sounds like you are in high demand.
And again, it's about capacity. You are saying, "I am operating at maximum capacity."
Let's try one more for the workplace before we move on. This one is for when everything is chaotic.
Maybe there are deadlines, technical problems, and stress, but you are surviving. You say, "It's been one of those weeks."
Oh, I use this all the time. It's been one of those weeks.
And note the grammar there. It has been. We use the present perfect because the week started tough and it is still tough right now. You wouldn't say it was one of those weeks unless it is Friday night and you are done.
And you don't even need to explain what those weeks means. Everyone knows. It means the printer broke, the client yelled, you spilled coffee on your shirt. It implies universal chaos.
Exactly. It bonds you with the other person. They will usually reply, "Oh, I know the feeling." And suddenly you aren't alone anymore.
It's a bit of shared misery. It builds camaraderie.
So to recap level 1, instead of "I'm fine," try "I'm running on fumes," "I'm stretched thin," or "It's been one of those weeks."
Okay, moving down the ladder. What about level 2? This is the social gray area.
Right. This is when you run into an acquaintance at the supermarket or a friend you aren't super close with. You don't want to dump all your problems on them, but you also don't want to lie.
This is the hardest category for me because if I start complaining to a neighbor I barely know, it gets awkward fast. But "I'm fine" still feels fake.
So we need phrases that say, "I am not great, but I am handling it." The classic one here is "hanging in there."
Hanging in there. It always makes me think of those inspirational posters with the kitten hanging from a tree branch.
That is exactly the visual. You are holding on, you haven't fallen, but it is taking effort to stay up. It is a very neutral, safe way to admit things are tough.
How are you doing, Dan? Oh, hanging in there.
It is perfect. It invites the other person to ask more if they want to, but it also allows them to just nod and move on. It is low pressure.
Is there a variation of this? Because I feel like I say hanging in there too much.
Yes. You can also say taking it day by day.
Taking it day by day. That sounds a little more serious, doesn't it?
It can be. It implies that looking too far into the future is overwhelming, so you are just focusing on today. It is very common when you are going through a long period of difficulty, maybe a family illness or job hunting.
Right. If someone asks me about my job search and it's going badly, I might say, well, I'm just taking it day by day.
Exactly. It shuts down the pressure to have a long-term plan. It says, "I am surviving today." That is enough.
What about when you are tired, but in a repetitive, boring way? Like life is just work, sleep, work, sleep.
For that, we have a great idiom. Same old, same old.
Same old, same old. I love this one. It's very rhythmic.
It is short for the same old thing. It means nothing has changed. It isn't necessarily negative, but it definitely isn't great. It's neutral.
It's the perfect answer when your life feels a bit like the movie Groundhog Day.
Let's do a quick pause and reply for level 2. I want you to imagine you are at a party. It is loud, you are tired. An acquaintance shouts, "Hey, good to see you. How have you been?" You don't want to shout your life story, but you want to be real. Use the kitten phrase. Ready? "Oh, hanging in there."
Perfect. And tone matters here, right? You usually say it with a little shrug and a half smile. Hanging in there.
Yes, body language does half the work. Now, before we go to the deep stuff in level 3, I want to remind you that if you're enjoying these phrases and want to sound more natural every week, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We are building a community of people who want to speak real English, not robot English.
And speaking of real English, level 3 is where it gets real. This is for your close friends, your partner, or maybe a family member you trust.
Level 3 is vulnerability. This is where we stop pretending. And I want to start with a very important grammar point here that changes everything.
Oh, I think I know where you are going. Is this the continuous tense thing?
Yes. Listen to the difference between these two sentences. Sentence A, "I have a hard time." Sentence B, "I am having a hard time." Dan, which one feels heavier?
I have a hard time feels permanent. It feels like a character flaw, like I am a person who struggles.
Exactly. Simple present tense, "I have," implies a fact, a permanent state. I have blue eyes. I have a hard time. It sounds like it will never change. But present continuous, "I am having a hard time," implies a temporary situation. It is happening right now, but it might stop later.
That is such a subtle but powerful shift. Saying, "I am having a hard time" feels less shameful. It's just a cloud passing through. It's not the whole sky.
Precisely. So when you open up to a friend, use the continuous. I'm having a really hard time with work lately. It frames the problem as temporary.
It separates you from the problem. You are not the problem. You are just experiencing the problem.
Another great phrase for level 3 is, I'm struggling a bit, to be honest.
Struggling. That is a brave word to use.
It is. It takes courage. But look at what happens when you use it. If you tell a friend, I'm struggling a bit, their immediate instinct is to help. You activate their empathy. If you say, I'm fine, they stay passive.
It reminds me of a time last year. I was really stressed about money, and I kept hiding it. Finally, I told my best friend, I'm struggling to keep my head above water. And just saying it made the weight lighter.
Keep my head above water. That is our next phrase. It is a drowning metaphor, similar to running on fumes, but more urgent.
Yeah, running on fumes means you are moving forward but tired. Keeping my head above water means you are fighting just to survive. You are treading water.
It paints a vivid picture. It tells your friend, I am in danger of sinking. It is a call for help.
And you don't use this with your boss usually, right?
Usually not, unless you have a very close, supportive relationship. This is a level 3 phrase. It is for people who love you.
Another one I like for level 3 is, I just need to vent.
Yes, this is a proactive phrase. To vent comes from ventilation, letting the hot air or steam out of a building so it doesn't explode.
So when you say, I just need to vent, you are setting a clear expectation. You are saying, I am going to complain for 5 minutes. You don't need to fix it, just listen.
That is the key. Often we don't tell people we are unhappy because we don't want them to try to solve our problems. We just want to be heard. Venting sets that rule.
It's a gift to the listener, actually. It takes the pressure off them. They know their job is just to nod and say, wow, that sucks.
Let's practice a level 3 interaction. I will be your best friend. We are sitting on a comfortable sofa with tea. I look at you and ask, Dan, you look tired. How are you really doing? I want you to use the drowning metaphor. To be honest, I'm struggling to keep my head above water. Oof, hearing that gives me goosebumps. It's powerful. It is. And notice how it deepens the conversation immediately. Now we are talking about real things, not just the weather. So we have the 3 levels. Level 1, running on fumes. Level 2, hanging in there. Level 3, I'm struggling. But how do you know which one to use? Let's do a rapid-fire quiz to test your intuition. I am going to give you a scenario, and you have to choose the best response. A, B, or C. I'm ready. Put me in the hot seat. Scenario 1. You are in an elevator with a colleague from another department. You know his name, but you never eat lunch together. He asks, how's it going? Do you say, A, I'm struggling to keep my head above water? B, stretched thin but hanging in there? C, I am having a hard time.
Okay, elevator ride. Short time, not a close friend. A is too heavy. He might push the emergency button. C is too grammatically stiff and personal. I'm going with B. Stretched thin but hanging in there.
Correct. It is the perfect mix of level 1 and level 2. It admits you are busy, professional, but keeps it light, social.
Okay, hit me with another one.
Scenario 2. You are at dinner with your sibling. You haven't seen them in months. You have been feeling depressed about your career. They ask, is everything okay? A, it's been one of those weeks. B, same old, same old. C, honestly, I've been struggling a bit lately. This is family. If I say A, it's been one of those weeks, I am deflecting, I am hiding. If I say B, I'm being boring. I think this is a level 3 moment. I should choose C. Honestly, I've been struggling a bit lately. Yes, this is your chance to connect. If you use a level 1 answer here, you are pushing your family away. It's interesting, isn't it? Choosing the wrong level isn't a grammar mistake, but it is a social mistake. Exactly. If you use level 3 with your boss, it's awkward. If you use level 1 with your partner, it's cold. Fluency isn't just about vocabulary. It is about matching the words to the relationship. I think a lot of our listeners might feel scared to use the level 3 phrases. It feels risky to be vulnerable in a second language. It is scary. But remember, vulnerability is universal. You don't need perfect grammar to say you are sad or tired. In fact, sometimes having an accent or making a small mistake makes you even more endearing when you are being honest. People connect with the emotion, not the verb conjugation.
And you can start small. You don't have to jump straight to, I am drowning. Start with, it's been a long week. See how that feels.
That is a great tip. Test the waters. Say a little to phrase and see if the other person asks a follow-up question. If they do, maybe you can move to level 3.
It's like a dance.
step forward, see if they step forward.
Before we finish, I want to address one specific phrase that is very common but often misused. I am stressed.
Yes, learners love this word. I am stressed, I am stressing.
It is not wrong, but it is very overused. And sometimes it sounds a bit dramatic.
Or just generic. It's like I'm fine, but negative. It doesn't tell me how you are stressed. Are you angry stressed, sad stressed, busy stressed?
That is why running on fumes, exhausted stressed, or stretched thin, busy stressed, or struggling, emotional stressed, are so much better. They paint the specific color of your stress.
Precision. That is what we are aiming for.
So, here is your challenge for this week. I want you to identify one moment where you would normally say, I'm fine. Maybe it is the cashier at the grocery store. Maybe it is your colleague on Zoom. Maybe it is your mom on the phone.
And swap it out.
Yes, swap it. If it's the cashier, just try level 2. Oh, hanging in there. If it is your mom, maybe try level 3. Just catch yourself before the robot answer comes out.
And observe the reaction. I bet you will get a warmer response than you are used to.
Definitely. People crave reality. In a world of filters and I'm fine, being a little bit honest is a superpower.
It really is.
Now, we want to practice this right now in the comments. I want to ask you the question, and I want you to answer using one of the phrases from today's episode.
And don't just say I'm fine. We will delete it.
We won't delete it, but we will be very disappointed. So here is the question. How are you really doing right now? Are you running on fumes? Are you just hanging in there? Or are you struggling to keep your head above water?
Be honest. This is a safe space. We read every comment, and we have been there too.
We really have. Thank you for listening today. Remember, your feelings are valid, and now you have the words to honor them.
Keep talking, keep connecting.
And we will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.